Okay, we're doing a lesson on how to change your settings in manual mode while using a Canon Rebel. So first, we want to make sure that our mode dial at the top of our camera is set to M, lined up with that white ticker. And then you'll notice when looking at your screen that your shutter speed will be selected with the orange little arrows around it and changed by the crank dial. If I crank the dial to the right, my shutter speed is going to speed up. You're going to see that fraction get smaller. So a 1/2500th of a second, all the way up to 1/4000th of a second. And if I turn my crank dial to the left, we're going to get slower. So 1/6 of a second, etc. When we get into the quotation marks, we're getting into full stops or full seconds, okay? And if I want to change my aperture, I'm going to need to hold down the AV button. That's going to switch the little arrows over to the f-stop, which is our aperture, and I can use the crank dial to adjust my f-stop that way. Then my last thing to adjust in manual mode is my ISO. So my ISO button is on the top of the navigation pad on the newer models, top of the camera on the older models, and then my arrows on the navigation pad to set my ISO. So that is how we set and change our settings for shutter speed, aperture, and ISO on the Canon Rebel cameras. Make sure to watch the Sean Tucker video a few times before you go out today and practice shooting in manual mode in a variety of lighting environments. Try some photos indoors, try some photos outdoors, try some photos with the lights off, try some photos where someone is moving or something is moving, and try some photos where you're trying to achieve a long and shallow depth of field. Really try and play around with those settings and see how raising your ISO, increasing your light sensitivity is going to give you more options for speed of shutter speed, but going to increase that noise, remember. It's going to need to go down. Our ISO is going to need to go down if our shutter speed is going to be longer. If I need to open up my f-stop number down to 1.8 or 5.6 or 4.5, I'm letting in lots and lots of light, so I may not need quite as high of an ISO. So play around and look at the light meter as you're looking through the viewfinder to see. It's going to tell you based on your settings if it thinks the shot is going to be too bright or too dark. You'll see the little needle move from left to right. We're generally aiming to keep the needle underneath the 0 for a balanced exposure of even lights and darks. Okay, have fun.